Good afternoon from New York. My name is Reardon, and I'm the executive portfolio producer at Walt Disney Imagineering. My job is to lead the creative development team in the creation of experiences and attractions. Walt Disney Imagineering is the creative engine that designs and builds all Disney theme parks, resorts, attractions, and cruise ships worldwide. I'm excited to join today in the discussion on museums and entertainment. In 2007, the ICOM defined museums as a nonprofit permanent institution in the service of society and its development, which acquires, conserves, researches, communicates, and exhibits the tangible and intangible heritage of humanity and its environment for the purposes of education, study, and enjoyment. That's a lot of words. While I know this definition is ever evolving, it's a good place to start to identify the areas of intersection between entertainment and museums. Two words in that previous definition will be the focus of what I want to talk about today: communicate and enjoyment. Because if you succeed in those two things, education and perhaps action will follow. Communicating ideas and concepts, real or fantastic, is what Disney does. We create places designed to promote and encourage shared experiences through innovative storytelling and immersive placemaking. We like to say we create memories. Sometimes our goal is to make fantasy real, and sometimes, as at Epcot Center, the goal is to make reality fantastic. The initial concept for Epcot was first communicated in 1966. It was an experimental, prototypical community of tomorrow, a living, working city where people would live and work with the joint focus of solving the issues of cities. Walt Disney felt strongly that the solution of the world's problems were not locked in a single location, branch of government, sector of industry, but rather in all of those places in the minds and creativity of individuals. What was needed was a place, an ignition, a shared experience that would spark those ideas and motivate society to action. To do that, those ideas needed to be communicated to a world in a way that was compelling and relevant. The notion of the working city evolved into more of a permanent World Expo, and in 1982, Epcot opened as the second major theme park at Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida. While Epcot itself is not a working city, many of the progressive ideas and technology strategies were incorporated in the Walt Disney World Resort, including solar power, innovative waste management systems, electric vehicles, and a monorail transportation system. But the basis of Epcot remained to tell real-world stories that inform, entertain, and inspire. A place that, according to Walt, would always be in a state of becoming. At Epcot, we believe the spirit of optimism and hope inspires the world, that anything is possible through human ingenuity and imagination, and that life is better when we engage with and celebrate each other in the world. The industry reported that Epcot saw over 12 million visitors in 2019. 12 million international visitors introduced to the stories at Epcot. How well we did our jobs as designers, as cast members, as storytellers, determined the level of engagement, the intensity of memory of those 12 million visitors. A story well told can be the difference between memory and obscurity, between engagement and disinterest, between passivity and action. In a theme park, a story is told through words, characters, music, placemaking. It may be enhanced with visual effects and the interaction of the cast members. Cast members is a term that Disney uses for all of our frontline employees who interact with guests and help tell that story. Whether the story is about history, science, the future, or a particular Norwegian-inspired ice princess, the intended result is a shared experience, a memory, a story that then gets retold. Every story, every planned guest experience at Imagineering starts with the clear design principle. These principles become the basis of design decisions. They unite the team, they unite the process, they become the center of every story. Epcot was conceived on Walt's sense of optimism for the future, a belief in the possibilities of human creativity and innovation. That becomes the basis of our design principles. Through the years, as we've added new experiences or adapted existing ones, those principles have been refined, restated, and updated to ensure that the future teams stay true to the authentic and original vision while still embracing and adapting to new audiences, new technologies, and new stories of the future. Think of the design principles as a checklist. Is the story that we're telling about real worlds made fantastic? Does it connect the audience? Can they see themselves in the story? Does it spark curiosity, exploration, and discovery? Does it connect as humans to a shared story? Those design principles are different for our other parks. At the Magic Kingdom, Walt Disney World's first theme park, fantasy reigns. This is the home of princesses and pirates and talking animals and space adventures. In the Magic Kingdom, we're encouraging the suspension of disbelief. We encourage guests to forget reality and believe for a minute that they can fly, that they're a pirate, that they can visit a faraway planet. At Epcot, we use the same storytelling tools, but we strive to not to suspend disbelief, but to inspire engagement, discovery, and imagination. We inspire guests to be an astronaut, to be an inventor, not to be the object of someone else's story, but the creator of their own. If you're swept up in the thrill of how a story is told, the story itself becomes more engaging, more memorable. So as an example, shortly after Epcot opened in 1986, the Living Seas Pavilion opened. It was, at the time, the world's largest indoor saltwater aquarium, which was pretty cool. But as a tourist, looking at the diversity of sea life in a really big fish tank is cool. But what if, instead of just viewing, I'm an oceanographic researcher at the bottom of the ocean studying marine life? So we invented the Hydrolator, which was a simulated elevator experience that took guests to the bottom of the ocean. And in so doing, we transformed passive observers into active explorers. And then we added a scuba diver that swam through, which added even more reality to what you were viewing. More thrilling than any fantasy ocean adventure. Reality made fantastic, inspiring young visitors to explore. A simple change of POV can create lasting impressions, connection, and a deeper engagement. We as designers have to constantly police ourselves to see our world and our work through the guest point of view, whether it is a new experience, a new exhibit, or the revision or updating of an existing exhibition. We have to be aware of subtle detractors that unintentionally exclude our guests from and keep them from engaging in the story. The choice of a narrator, the use of technology that might be superfluous to the story, language or images that might exclude or at some level communicate, this isn't for me, this doesn't include you. All of that can limit engagement and therefore the number of voices, the number of people that will participate in that discussion, in that experience. To engage an audience, we must be clear on who the audience is. We must write a story in words that resonate. We must use tools and technology that is appropriate to that content. And we must consistently revisit those choices as the audience, the context, and the story itself evolves. Whether we were asking our audience to experience a planet in a galaxy far, far away, or the artifacts of a civilization from centuries ago, we must invite them in, ignite their curiosity, spark their imagination, tell them a compelling story. We must, at some level, entertain. So thank you very much, and I really look forward to our deep dive discussion.